Today we have this Zenith. It's a little tiny Zenith. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it is a Zenith. And you know what they say about a Zenith? We know that there's no gremlins in a Zenith. Everybody remember what movie that was from? Ain't no gremlins in a Zenith. Alright, it is definitely a Zenith. And it looks like it's AM only. It has the typical Zenith look from that era. We're going to guarantee that there's lots of nice tubes in this radio. Probably, there's no plug on it, so I don't know. Obviously somebody messed with it. I'm not sure. That bottom looks like it may have been a remanufacture. Whoever did it, I mean, they did an okay job, I guess. Anyway, so it's the nice Zenith logo. It says long distance radio. Ooh, it's got a cover. I was going to say, I wonder what's in here, but it's probably the antenna. That's usually what Zenith does. But there's been times when I've taken these Zenith radios apart where it has a cover like this and somebody had hidden something inside here. I never found anything that I could go buy a luxury car with, but I have found a few things. I found a, check this out. I was all excited. Is it still here? It was here. You know, because I want to talk about it. That's why I can't find it now. There was, oh, here it is, here it is. I found this lovely bracelet in a, what was it, a radio? I think it was a radio. I think it was a radio. And I thought, oh, it's got to be gold because it's got that kind of a clasp, right? But, yeah, turned out it's not real. But that would have been a nice find, huh? Too bad it wasn't. Anyway, I don't know, I guess we could, oh, I just realized it says Zenette. It doesn't say Zenith on the front, it says Zenette. How cute. It's got a little carry handle. This is one of those handles that after you finish restoring it perfectly, you pick it up, you're walking around with it, and it gives way, and bam, all your hard work is on the floor. Alright, well, either way, I guess the way you get into it is the bottom here. There's no other way to get in, so I guess that's it. So, let me go ahead and set the camera up. We'll open this baby up and see what we got. Alright, so that's kind of an interesting little latch there. This has been done so many times it actually wore out the plastic right there. Look at that. Absolutely amazing. I bet you that right there is the on-off switch. It has a geared tuning capacitor. Alright. The Zenette. Alright, let's take the bottom back cover off of this. No, that's not going to work. There you go, that'll work. Those screws look awful shiny, so it's got a old electronic smell. Oh, look at that. Look at that power cord. Ooh. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. You know, I've seen these little pieces falling out from this radio. Now I know what it was. That is unbelievable. I don't think I've ever seen a power cord that was this rotten before. Wow. Wow, look at that. Ooh, this is definitely an eBay special, huh? Alright, let's see. What I was saying is people sell stuff like this on eBay, and Yeah, it works. It actually, oh, look at that. Look at the end here. Look. How could that, it's all nice and twisted right there. This kind of damage, like if you're not sure, of course you don't want to just plug it in, but if you're not sure, but if you use what they call a dim bulb tester, even if this was shorted, it wouldn't matter, you know, it wouldn't cause an explosion. You could still get an electric shock, but if this was shorted, it would just light up the light bulb. I do have a dim bulb set up somewhere. I don't know exactly where it is. I seldom use it, and it probably would be a good idea just to have it out all the time, but well, we'll do that one of these days. Alright, so it is a battery and an electric set. It looks like it's got 1-volt tubes. Looks like it's got 4. It's a 4-tube set. Let's see, a 1S5, 1U4, 1R5, and a 3V4. I'm trying to see if I could see a model number on that, but I can't. It's further up and it's being blocked. So I guess we could just pull the guts out of this thing, because there's really nothing. I mean, I wouldn't, certainly I'm not going to plug it in. So let's see, I guess we can take these knobs off, so I can do without damaging anything. I hate prying, you know, you pry on this stuff and it just breaks. What you could do with these is, I don't know if I have one, but you could put a rag around the knob and pull it off with a rag, is what I probably should do. If I had a rag within a good distance from me, I would do that. But let me see. No, I can't find one. I don't know. Let's try. We're going to just try gently to wrench it off. Let's see. Oof. Maybe I should just go get a rag. This one, I hate to break the tuning capacitor. Oh, that one came off easy, actually. It's this one that wasn't playing very well. Let's see. Of course, I broke my fingernail. The knob is stronger than my fingernail. There you go, it's coming, it's coming. Alright, let's see. We could use... Do I have another common head here? I have so many screwdrivers. These little micro, there you go. I've got so many of them. Alright, so inside, it looks like there are 2 common head screws in there. Not long enough. Let's see. We could use this, we got this, it's very thin but very long. Let's see if I can get it in there. Yeah, there you go. You know what, I guess I could pause and I'll come back when I get the chassis out. I'll be right back. So we're back and we got the chassis out. And look at that. There was a little bug in there and it was eating the dust cap, and there's part of the... That is just so disgusting. This is the one thing that I can't stand about old stuff, these bugs. I mean, it looks like it's been in there a long time ago, but still, oh, that's got to go. Even though I don't know what kind of bug it is, but that's definitely an egg sac of whatever the hell that was, and it ate up the the dust cap. I think the speaker is still good though, but we'll have to try to figure out something to put in there, because now it's just open and ripe for stuff getting in there. Anyway, so here's the paper in there, and it says there's a chassis 4E41Z. 4E41Z. Is there a model number? I don't know if you could see in there or not, but 4E41Z, long distance radio. There's no model number. There's more bugs right there. You see that? We're going to have to get those out of there. That is just disgusting. For the most part, it's clean, but still no model number. I wish we had a model number, but we have to debug it first. Like, I don't think those are cockroaches. That would be that would probably be the worst part, is cockroaches. Either way, everything's dead. Whatever was in there is not alive anymore. But oh, look, they're on the front too. Hang on a second. I wonder how on earth it got in there, because these are usually sealed pretty well with the gasket on the speaker, unless there was a space there. I guess I didn't look close enough. Usually that gasket, although that gasket had a tear. Anyway, so these are the antenna wires that were on plugs that connected here and here. Ooh, look at that. Look underneath that, is nice and dirty. It certainly does not look like anybody's been in it. So at least the power cord needs to be replaced. There's a bumblebee right there. Maybe we should try to do the non-Shango thing and try to clean this thing out. Unlike Mr. Shango, I'd rather have it clean than dirty, but I understand where he's coming from. I know a lot of this old stuff, you try to apply a liquid solvent or whatever, and it just destroys everything. I get that. Even air, you know, some of this stuff's pretty delicate. You try to blow air into it and it starts ripping things apart. Especially you blow air onto that speaker. A lot of, like this speaker, the paper still feels okay, which is surprising. Usually, you know, you touch it and you push on it a little bit and you can hear it crackling, because your fingers are just about to go through it, because it's all dry rotted. But let's see, what do we got here? These are pieces of the plug. A tongue saw. We got one original Zenith tube. What is this one? Is this a yellow? That's a Zenith. I don't know. This is definitely an old Zenith. I think the white lettering, like this one here, would be original, and I thought the yellow was replacement, but I'm not 100% sure of that. It's got a nice metal tag. Oh, here's the model right there. Look at that. Alright, so it's a model 4G800Z. That's kind of cool, though, that the tag, there's a paper tag behind this metal tag that was riveted on, so the paper is actually behind the riveted metal tag. And you know, if there's a metal tag, somebody thought this had a value, obviously, if they riveted a serial tag to it. So this is when radios meant something, I guess. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and just try to get some of that dust out of there. And then we'll get to maybe some troubleshooting. I'll be right back. Alright, we cleaned it out a little bit. See, I actually missed the spot right here. I'd like to, right in the tuner right there. It's kind of hard to get in some of those tight spots, but It's actually pretty clean on its own. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. But I could see, so this was actually the top. That's why there was so much dirt in there. And this is the bottom. And there's a metal grill up there. I guess, I don't know. I wouldn't think much air would pass through there, but I guess it did. But you could definitely see. It's a cute little radio, though. You know, these little radios like this are good for collectors because they're small. You know, I don't know if like a serious collector, but you know, these are small and they fit easily on a shelf, and you can line them up. You know, those big, like those transoceanics, they're huge. And I've got quite a few transoceanics, and I actually put up another shed that is basically all transoceanic radios in there. One day we're going to get to those. We're going to do those transoceanics. And my son thinks it would be a good idea to like do some giveaways. I don't do this for money anyway, but I can't keep all this stuff either. But he thinks I should do that. He thinks I should do some giveaways. So we may do that in the future sometime. We'll try to figure out what's going on. So that'll be kind of cool, actually. I'd like to do that. I'd love to get... for me, a lot of this stuff is more important to get into the hands of people that enjoy it, you know, rather than sell something for just a few bucks and then most of the time it goes to somebody who is just wanting to flip it. So and I, you know, like I said, I'd rather get this stuff to people who would enjoy it. I don't know that any of this stuff really has any good value or not, but how can we get that out of there? I'm sure a lot of people don't want to see me trying to pull this cord restraint out, but we're gonna do it anyway. Cause there you go. I think I got it. Oh no, I pushed. No, come on, get out. I had you out. I had you forward, and I pushed you back. There you go. See, it's kind of, you know, when these cords are more supple, it compresses easier. So it's easier to get these things in and out, but this is definitely not compressing. There's no way that's moving. I don't want to ruin these pliers either. Let's see, do I have a heavier... There you go, there you go. Here's a nice heavier pair of needle nose. Actually, be nice to get this plug out of here because this cord is just ridiculously dropping pieces everywhere. I guess it doesn't really, even if I destroyed this cord restraint, it probably doesn't even matter. It looks like it's probably original, but with this one I could probably squeeze the... Ooh, look at that. The cord is just shattering. Absolutely hysterical. It's just shattering. Ooh. Look at that, it actually bent the metal. Why is it so tight? Wow. Well. Alright, you know what? I'm not going to torture you anymore with this. I'll be right back. We'll get... Well, there it is. Of course, half of it fell on the floor. I don't know where it went. It doesn't matter. Probably not going to go back in there anyway. So there's some kind of a fusible device under here. You know what? It's a big resistor. Look at that. I wonder if it's any good. Here's a nice can dome right back there. Where does this go to? So, okay. Let's pull that shield off. One of the leads looks like it goes right to that Black Beauty capacitor, which is probably the across the line cap, and that's got to go. That's got to go. Ooh, look at that. What is that? 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 Oh, okay, all right. So I guess if you're going to work it on batteries, you have to plug the plug, right? Is that how I've seen that on a lot of radios. You plug the plug into here, and it's actually, okay, yeah, that's what it is. And it moves the contacts on that switch, and it allows for the battery. Okay, well, that makes better sense. And here's that capacitor I was talking about, that Black Beauty, which is going right to one side of the line here. Alright, so that's got to come off. Let's lop it off. Let's give it the old lop. This resistor is in like the worst possible place. And I have a feeling if I bend it the wrong way, I'm going to have to figure out what that resistor is, and I don't want to do that. So, there's one. And then the other one is this wire here. This is the strangest, this is such a weird thing. Did I cut anything important there, or it's just a wire? Maybe somebody put that over. You cut a piece of something out, and then you realize that it was some important component, but I think it's just heat shrink. Maybe somebody had replaced this plug. I'm curious to see what's under this tape. This is some old tape too. It has no adhesive properties any longer. There's the connection somebody had made. Look at that. This is kind of, this isn't good. This is why you always want to use good electrical tape. You don't want to use like garbage electrical tape. You always want to use the good stuff. I have a lot of rolls of it here. This stuff right here, this is white, but it's the Scotch, whatever. Then this is Scotch 35, but I think the 35 is just white. But all right, let's get rid of this crackly plug. That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Goodbye, plug. Let's clean up a little bit. We got a big mess over here now. All that, whatever all that stuff is from, that was coming off of that wire. It's everywhere. It is just everywhere. Kind of excited to plug that radio in and see what it does. Let's see. Alright. Good enough for now. Good enough. Let me go ahead and let me grab a plug and we'll get this cap out of there, I guess. You know, it's nothing in here actually even looks like it heated up or anything. Well, I guess this, you know, this is supposed to, but I'm just trying to gauge how, if any of these caps are bad, how bad they would be without checking them. But that is definitely an across the line cap, this one here. So that one really should be the first one out of there. I've had one time I didn't remove it and I had something plugged in. And I was touched it a few times and it didn't feel hot, and I was just playing with it and that thing just popped. And you know, it was more frightening than anything when it happened, but usually not good. But alright, I'm going to go ahead and try to find us a new AC plug, and I'll be back in a minute again. So I'm going to pull this bumblebee out of there. I'm not sure. I'll have to try to get wrap my head around reading these bumblebees. I assume that's this is the first number, I guess, because it's closer, right? So it'll be yellow, violet, and orange. So I believe the way you read it is the first two are the significant numbers, like the numbers of the value, right? So if it was 47,000 picofarads, it would be, I mean, I have to kind of figure it out, but so this would be the number, like 47, and the third one would be the amount of zeros, the fourth is the tolerance, and I think the fifth band was the voltage. But we're gonna have to cheat a little, so I gotta look it up, but I think that's what, I'm pretty sure that's how you do it. So if you had yellow, violet, and orange, yellow, violet, and orange would be 47, which obviously the same as the color codes on here. Wait a second, I got one right here, I think. Let's see. This is the color code for resistors. It's the same. See? So it would be 4, 7, and then orange would be 3. So it's 47000. Oh, a second. So what's 5? So yellow, obviously, you know, you could, it's across the line, so if you put 250 volt cap, you'd be okay. What is that one? It's yellow. So it's 400 volt. This is a 400 volt cap. Alright, so let me see if I could find one somewhere, and I'm going to go ahead and get it, and I'll be right back. So we had replaced the across the line cap. We replaced, let's see, there's a cap here, 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 and this would be the last one right here. But I don't know if I have that cap or anything close to it, so I was kind of, let's see, 0.003. What would be closest to 003? I don't think I have anything. 0022 maybe? I guess that would be closest. 003. What is it? What's the voltage of it? 400? I have an 0022 at 630 volts. Alright, so it's a, let's see. Yeah, I guess. 0.02222. Just chop that right out of there. I have a feeling this one's on the audio, so. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess it doesn't matter. We can just lop it out of there. Yeah, it was easy. It goes. Let's see. Where's it go? I'm gonna cut the other side. I'm going to hold on to that cap because I have a feeling this one's actually still good. So I'm not going to chop it too short. Let's see. Some tells me that one's going to be good. It even looks nice. Yeah, okay. And then the other side is going to go right here. And then we're going to, after I do this, we're going to check the tubes. Make sure all the tubes are good. And then that should be it for this. Well, if it fixed it, actually, we don't know. We didn't even really try it. We just kind of assumed. Alright, so we got a mechanical connection right there. Now we're going to get some solder in there. Alright. There you go. Nice mechanical connection, soldered up. Let's bend it to a way where it's not going to interfere with anything. And that's it. Try to always get components back the way they were basically originally facing. You know, you want to dress them the same or close. Alright, so we pulled out the old Sencor today. These Sencor, at least this Sencor for the most part, is it's a pretty reliable machine. All the other ones that I have, what I have left actually, none of them are really, they all had something wrong, but I think this one didn't. This was the only machine that just basically didn't have anything wrong with it. So let's see. I guess we can pull, what is that number there? That's a 1R5. A 1R5. Let's get to the 1R5. We're already in the threes. Where is it? Let's see. There's a 1R5. So A is 5. Let's see, hold on a second. So 1R5. A is 5. So we just have to put 5 on? Is that, I don't know, I gotta, no, reset everything. So A is 5. And then B is 3. C is F. 4 is, let's see, D is 4. And then socket 7. Get in there, get in there. Alright, let's see what happens. Flip it on. Look at that. It's good. It's a good tube. No shorts. No grid leakage. Alright. Well, that one's good. So we can put that one back. Alright, what was the next one here? Let's see. What was that? That was a 1R5. What's this one here? This is a 1U4. It's going to be probably on the same page, yeah. So it's 5 again. 5, 1F6, socket 7. So 1F6 and socket 7. That's good. No shorts. Looks good. Looks good. Let's do all the ones first, I guess. So we got, what's that one? That's a 1S5. 1S5. Let's see. I guess this one has none. 1S5. So we got 1G6 socket 7. 1 4G6, socket 7. It's hard to do this when you're holding the camera. All these tubes are good. Who knows, maybe maybe that radio didn't have much use, although some of these tubes are replaced. This one's not that easy to get out. It's kind of in an odd spot here. I cannot get my finger in there to get it out. Oop, did I poke a hole in the speaker? I rubbed it a little. It didn't. It did go through a little bit. Yeah, get out of there. Get out. Get out. All right, what is this one? This is a 3V4. Make sure it's off. It's probably going to be socket 7 anyway, so let's just plug it into socket 7. 3V4. 3V. Let's see, 3D. 3V4. So it's 5, 3F6. So it's going to be 5, 3, F6, socket 7. Alright. Let's see. No shorts. We got good emission. Ooh. Life test. I never tried life test. Yeah, I mean, this tube tester is pretty reliable machine. I didn't do anything to this one. This one seems to work good. It feels well built too. And I could see right there it's run 13. I wonder how many runs they had. Maybe one day we'll open these up to see what's in them. Alright, let's get the tubes back in here. We'll be right back. Alright, so we changed all the caps except the this one, the electrolytic. And let's see, and I usually don't do that, but we did it on this one. And let's get the antenna hooked back up. Maybe it needs the antenna hooked up. Nothing. Zippity doo dah. Alright, so you know, there's certain things when you look at these old radios that are always, well, not always, but there are usual problems. And this resistor I know is good because it's getting warm. The can dome I know is good because it's about, there's 77 volts there. There's 40. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute here. No, that's good. That's okay. That's okay. So this is about 1,000 ohms on each side. The only thing, let's see. I shouldn't touch it actually. Selenium rectifier, and I think it may be bad, and without even checking it, I think it may be bad. And the reason I think it may be bad is I can actually smell. It's got about 80 volts coming out of it, 72, 68. It's going back and forth and up and forward. But I could actually smell when these go bad. It's also getting hot. When these go bad, they emit a very bad smell. I read that they never short. I don't know about any of that. I'm not sure. But in my opinion, you should take it out of the circuit. We could replace it. Hang on a second. We could replace it with like a 1N, what is that, 1N, just a regular, what do you call it, rectifier diode, like a 1N, what is it, 1N406 or something like that. Well, here's a rectifier that I took out of a power supply. Actually, there's one laying right there. Is that the same one? No, that's a Schottky diode. Let's see. We need just like a standard rectifier. Hold on a second. Hold on. No, I have, yeah, right. There you go. There's a whole thing of diodes right here. Let's see, 1N5404, 1N5408, 580, these are Schottky's. Let's see, these, what is that one right there? 1N4004. Any kind of just a standard rectifier diode is all you need across that. It's a 1 amp. It can't be more than an amp, right? I doubt it. I doubt it very much. Oh, look, the solder's all stuck. Alright, let's see. If you can really check, you can test a selenium. Actually, well, hang on a second. Let's grab this out of here. We're just going to do it because I got them right here. It's easy enough. There you go. You got to look for the rough side, right? The rough side is that way. Yeah, it stinks, boy. Ooh, it's definitely bad. That's what happens when they go bad. I'll just put it in like just to test it at first, just to see what happens. We have to change that electrolytic, but it's so hard to get that one out of there. It's in a very odd place, the way, you know, it's stuffed in there, and it's just not going to be easy. So I was hoping it wouldn't have to be replaced. I'd like to just hear this radio play. All right, let's do this just for test. Let's do just for test. Where's the solder? I got to grab a roll of thicker solder out of the other room because this stuff, for this kind of work, this solder is way too thin. And it's very difficult. It's very difficult, this solder. Alright, now we got to be careful because we got some high voltage on that lead right there. But we need the antenna, so we're going to have to, let's see. We're going to, that kind of loosened up, but that's alright. We have to hit the antenna hooked up here. So, alright, let's see. We're almost there, We'll go, maybe we'll end this, if this works, we'll end it, then we'll change the other capacitor, the electrolytics. Alright, you ready? Let's see, hope it doesn't blow. Well, it didn't blow. Well, it's, I can hear stations now. So I think and it's got that buzz anyway. Let's see if we can tack in. So that was definitely bad. That was definitely bad. So now every time we do something, we get a little bit more. Now I can't read the values of those capacitors. It looks like there's 4 sections in there, and I can't read them. So we're just gonna, here's a 33 at 450. We'll give it a shot. One of them is probably going to be around 100 or 200, and the rest are usually a lower value. So we'll just give it a shot. I mean, it sounds like something in there is bad. So let's see. I don't want to keep moving this this power resistor because I just know it's going to snap. But once it snaps off, everything goes in the trash. Okay, so that can go there. Now we need the plus side. Let's see. Let's try. We'll do one section at a time. I don't know. Let's try this section. And I mean, they all could be bad. All the sections could be bad. Look at that, it actually got quiet, so we know that section's bad.
Trump administration is planning how it may impact you and your
So,
loved ones, or maybe even impact.
It's not getting warm. So we know that section's bad for sure. So I've probably, if we went and replaced that capacitor, all the other sections, it would probably just work. But here, let's grab another one of those. Here's another 33 at 450. Let's grab a couple more of these alligator clips. We could just keep doing that. We can do this all day, I guess. So here, we'll do negative. We'll just put it right here to this, so it's kind of crazy, huh? It's going to be another really long video, but this is fun. To me, this is a lot of fun. This is what this is all about. Just, you know, messing around. Hopefully getting it to work. We better get this roll of solder. This thin solder, I don't know, it just gets all over. It's always unwinding. It's always getting all over the place. Alright, so I know we're making a big mess here, but that's alright. So we got one on there. Let's try, I don't know, we got 3 more sections. Now this side, let's try this section here. Let's try, I really don't know what the values are, but now we've got 2 33s. I'm going to keep them over there in case they decide to blow. We're going to face the top of it that way. If it decides to blow, it'll blow that way. They're 450 volt. So every time we add something, it seems to get just a little bit better. Did the antenna lead come out? These radios have weak, yeah, it definitely sounds better. Well, maybe not. That pretty much sounds the same, I think. Let's try to disconnect. Well, this is the one here, so. This is the one. This one is bad for sure. Alright, so let's try one of the other sections now. So we know we have at least one bad section. Let's try, without shorting anything, let's try that section. Alright, that's going to be, we have one more section after that. Sounds exactly the same. Alright, so that's, you know, maybe just one of the sections is bad in here. Alright, so this I believe is going to be the 4th section here. I'm pretty sure. There you go.
Wonderful policy, and it. Why did they cut the program? Just recently, when Attorney General.
What do you think of that, guys and girls?
She shared some of the findings.
So if somebody took this radio and replaced all the capacitors and the diode, the selenium diode there, it would have worked. So sometimes it is the capacitors and a diode. Anyway, I know we made a pretty big mess here, but you got to be careful. Don't ever put your hands in these when it's on, like I'm doing. I just want to feel if that diode's getting hot. There's line voltage on that diode. Just remember that, fellas and young ladies. Oh, I can smell something in there heating up now. Mmm. Yum yum. Something's definitely heating up. It's this resistor here, but this is supposed to get hot. I don't know how hot it's supposed to get, but it's supposed to get hot. But I don't know. You know, this it would be nice to know what the capacity of this capacitor should be. Let's try a little higher. Even though that one sounds like it's doing okay. What is that? It could be less. I guess I could look up a schematic for this, but what do we got? We got a 22. A 22 is really not going to make any difference from a 33. Here's a 45. Here's a 220 at 200 volts. 220 at 200. Well, I mean, that may be kind of the voltage. It should be okay. Let's try that one. Let's try this. This one has no connection. I just want to see if that's the reason why that resistor is making a burning smell. It's possible that it's normal. It's very possible it's normal. So here's a little hint. When you're messing with the electrolytics on these 1-volt tube radios, do yourself a favor. Do not put a charged capacitor in the circuit, because if the capacitor is charged too high, it's going to blow the filaments in your 1-volt tubes. So you always want to make sure that the capacitor is discharged completely before putting it into the circuit, especially when you have an open capacitor like this one has. You certainly want to do that. I've seen that happen where you put a large capacitor and it's charged up to 400 or 500 volts, and bam, now you need a set of tubes, or at least one tube, and I don't have any tubes. So we got to be careful with that. Alright, let's see again. This is the light. See that? Isn't that crazy?
Save on your dream home. Visit Notre. Hours of outage 10 years ago, so it is getting to be a bigger problem. But I think a lot of this is
it's still getting hot, but doesn't feel like it's getting as hot. So it may just be that capacitor was too low of a value.
Solar flares get to be a big issue, then we'll have to put in technological methods to harden. Let's go to Cornelius, Louisiana. Welcome to the show, Mr. AI.
Anyway.
So let's now move to. Hi, Patrick Conley here. How are you with silence?
noisy, and distractions and diversions are seemingly everywhere. And the thing is, the noise, distractions, and diversions...
Yeah, it's definitely not getting as hot now.
The very voice of God.
Alright, so obviously it needs to be somewhere in the 100, 200. Usually one of the capacitors is that value in these multi...
And the relevant rate... 44. See you Golden Nights on Wednesday, December 17th.
This is the oscillator.
That's umarried.edu/tuition-free.
Alright, well,
The Chaplain of Divine Mercy.
that did it anyway. That made it function.
Have you join us for that? You know the number to get in. It's 888.
So I think we're going to stop here for right now. I don't know how long. I think we got probably an hour into it now. We're going to go ahead and let me turn the light back on here. We're going to go ahead and close up that voice coil. Get something glued on there so nothing falls in there. Anyways, that's it for this one. Maybe we'll do a second part to this, putting it back together. I don't know. It was really, you guys, you could see what I actually did. But you know, maybe I'll do it just for me. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm going to go ahead and end it here for right now. The electrolytic needs to be changed. All the other caps I did change, which probably would have, all the paper caps, probably would have worked if I didn't change the paper caps. So basically the problem with this radio was the selenium rectifier and the electrolytic capacitor. That's what was the problem with this radio. So those two parts would have made this thing function. Anyway, you know, I had fun with this one actually. This was a good one for me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope somebody could follow along. If you have this chassis, chances are you're going to have the similar problem, or the same problem or similar problem. I did check all the resistors. All the resistors were within spec, which I was thinking that wouldn't be the case, but it was. Anyway, again, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, and I'll catch you on maybe part 2 of this one or the next one. We shall see. Stay safe, be good to each other, be happy, and so long. See you later. Bye-bye. One thing I forgot to mention earlier was when you're replacing a selenium rectifier with a silicon rectifier, you need to add a dropping resistor. So for the diode in these All-American 5s, you want to use like a 1N4007. I don't know if I mentioned that before. I don't remember. But you should use like a 1N4007. Those are pretty robust diodes. And the resistor should be at least a couple of watts. At least, well, it should be double whatever the circuit draws. So, you know, if you want to actually test, and I would do that actually. I would kind of test the circuit, and if you can get a resistor, the size of a resistor that's double of whatever the circuit draws. So if the circuit draws 1 watt, you want to use a 2 watt resistor. If it draws 4 watts, you want to use an 8 watt resistor. So you want to kind of get a double. But if you used a 2 or 3 watt resistor, you'd absolutely be fine in an All-American 5 radio or something similar. These don't draw that much. The rule of thumb is you want to have a voltage drop across the dropping resistor of about 10 volts, or you know, about 10 volts. If you can get a schematic for your radio and you know what the B plus is supposed to be, That's a great way to choose the value of the resistor. You keep checking the B plus until you match whatever the schematic says the B plus should be for that radio, by adding more resistance or less resistance. What else? I think that's about it. Yeah, so you'll the values are probably going to be maybe 30, 40, 50 ohms, maybe, I don't know. Could be 100 ohms. You'll have to kind of figure it out. But you should be okay. If you didn't have a schematic and you dropped it around 10 volts, you could see how the radio works. If you put like a 2 watt, maybe, I don't know, 100 ohm resistor, and it dropped the voltage about 10 volts or whatever, around there, you could see how the radio plays, and if it's satisfactory, then it's good. But anyway, just want you to be safe what you're doing, and especially don't want you to ruin your project. If you don't use a dropping resistor and the B plus is too high, you're really hammering those tubes and all the resistors and everything, especially the tubes. The filament voltage will be higher. Everything's going to be a bit higher, so you want to kind of get that right. Anyways, that's it for now. Again, I appreciate everybody watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. So long. Bye-bye.